Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration, Part 106, Casual Conversations 39. So another typical episode. A bunch of random talking points will really be all over the place today. First, I got a new camera, so I'm hoping everything records well. I have every video to date that I have, 414 videos with my trusty Canon EOS Rebel T6. Again, when I first got into this, I thought I'd be doing more photography as well. So I do like animals, going on nature walks and stuff like that. So I wasn't really sure if I was going to be doing mostly video or photography. Clearly, I'm definitely doing a lot of videos, not much photography. So I went to upgrade, and I probably bought this in a bundle with a couple different lenses. I've only used this one that I have on here, but again, maximum recording length was 12 minutes, unless I couldn't figure out how to change something, but it seemed about right. A lot of camcorders have recording limits of 30 minutes to an hour. So that was just the reason I wanted to upgrade is one, this one only shoots in full HD, not the 4K resolution, and recording time. Again, 414 videos. Show me one video that has a clip longer than 12 minutes, and I'll tell you you're a liar because it's not true. So I upgraded. Now, I have the Panasonic HC VX981 4K. But it's just a little camcorder. Again, if I want to do photography, I'll use this one, take some pics. Again, super amateur photographer. I've done it like twice or 3 times. But it says continuous recording time up to an hour. So hopefully I will get 35 to 40 minutes. Got some extendo batteries on the thing right now, so maybe a little longer. But hopefully my biggest advantage is not having to edit so many individual clips. Again, most of my videos don't really like going over 30 minutes for whatever reason. Not that I've gotten any feedback. That's just where I like to keep them at after doing several hundred of these videos. So that's my new camera setup. It should be in 4K, and it will hopefully it's got the same type of quality, maybe a little better than the last one. I'll put this away so I don't step on it. But so that's my new camera setup. Again, just other things around my office. Again, all of this is short-term profits from trading. Again, I got my desk, probably $400. This chair, I don't know, $100, $200. Lights. I've got a compound microscope that I've literally never used, not one single time. It cost me $800 in case I wanted to do some measurements. I'm not sure what kind of stupid scientist needs to do actual physical measurements though. Must be pretty slow. Got my djembe, got the Canon, all the other lenses. Got a bunch of recording stuff. I have an $800 Ableton 2 mixer thing. I have an $800 software for Ableton that I never use because I don't need recording software. My whiteboard was probably, I don't know, $300-400. And then I just have a $400 or $500 Samsung laptop that I edit on. So that is my entire setup for these videos. Just if anyone's curious. Now to the talking points. We'll do talking points and current events, responding to some dark horse number 119, and story time if there's time. First thing up, we have Dolly Parton drops out of the class being voted on for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Tom Brady unretires. Whoever bought the Tom Brady's last touchdown ball for $700K, I bet is feeling great. It's like sick. Bet he's got a new favorite player, Tom Brady. Yeah, I bet not. But we talk about Tom Brady retire. He's now unretired. Dolly Parton dropped out, saying that she doesn't feel like she's earned the right to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't really know who's all in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not really sure what classifies rock and roll. Not even really sure what classifies different genres of music. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty interesting. American Idol auditions. Those kind of started and I don't know if they're started, still going, how many there are. I like watching the singing shows. Again, I've applied to The Voice, American Idol, America's Got Talent. In 3 or 4 years running, I haven't done so in the past year or two because clearly I'm not allowed to participate in the human species. But I do like watching American Idol auditions. What's my favorite one that I've ever seen? I don't know if it's necessarily, it's not American Idol. I think it's America's Got Talent. But Rose Sonnenclair, I think, was the best singing audition I've ever seen. Again, now as a singer, I watch musicians sing and I'm like, I can definitely sing more than them. But I certainly loved, just like anybody else watching auditions where they just shock the crowd, everyone. It's a real good feel-good type of thing. So I think Rose Son and Claire's audition for America's Got Talent is probably the best wow factor for an audition that I've seen. And for dancing, which one was there? Was a guy named Philip Shabib on So You Think You Can Dance. He did like a lot of the arm jiggly stuff. So he was another really, really cool audition that I've seen. We got as of March 16th, it's now the 18th or the 19th, so we'll get this number's gotta jack this number way up, which is good. 100 plus children killed in Ukraine to date. That's really good, Vlad. Man, nothing says a great leader of Russia like, boom, there goes an artillery shell. Again, there's a 3-year-old that has no idea what's going on. His arm's ripped the fuck off. He's gonna bleed off and die out. And, yep, great, 100 of those, 100 dead and certainly going up. What is a no-fly zone? Just an area where people will shoot you down if you fly there. So that's why Zelensky wants a no-fly zone, and NATO doesn't want to initiate direct conflict for obvious reasons. Stop it, Vlad. Stop it, bro. Just stop. Just fucking stop. Drinking 70 milligrams of caffeine is a hit or miss for me. No understanding why. Have the same breakfast every morning. Pretty much an English muffin with some turkey and some cheese. Sometimes I'll do a breakfast burrito with eggs. Maybe sometimes do just a bunch of bacon. And 2 or 3 days ago, again, I get these little sparkling ices, just carbonated water with flavor, and some of them have caffeine in them. And so I get the first one, and you know, caffeine, I drink so little caffeine, it's like a little thing, I get a little buzz, feel kind of cool. And so I did that 2-3 days ago, felt fantastic, and then did the same thing yesterday, or 3 days ago, felt fantastic, did the same thing 2 days ago, and my stomach was just all out of whack, had this weird headache for like a couple hours, my stomach was all tight, so I have no understanding of, and it was the same, literally the same breakfast, same amount of caffeine. No understanding of what's going on there. St. Patrick's Day was recent, the past couple days, and I don't have any friends, so I didn't go to any celebrations, have not done so forever, but like literally 0 social interactions for a solid, I don't know, 6 years now, 5 years now, completely legal, completely trying to change it every single minute of every day. That's what all of these videos are. Yeah, well, fuck Brett. But in cultural gatekeeping, I saw on Reddit someone say, you're not Irish if you can't carry an Irish passport. Again, I covered my lineage. Again, unfortunately, I consider myself 100% American. I was born in America. My parents were born in America. First, I'm 3rd generation American. But I like learning the cultural lineage. I had more Irish in me. I forget what it was like 19% and like 7 or 8 or 9 Scottish. So a lot more than I thought in terms of lineage. But I just think it's the weirdest shit ever, cultural gatekeeping. If you actually were proud of your culture, you want people to enjoy it and engage in it. Not, oh, I'm better than you. You're not Irish. You don't carry a flag and say shite really good, or that you're not Irish. Fucking lads and lassies, the fuck? Removing Russian art/culture in response to the invasion. Do I look at any different about the Russian musicians that I follow? Fuck no. I think it's the opposite. I think you should spread Russian music and art and culture, and hopefully get the dumb fucks in the Russia propaganda land to open their eyeballs and fag Vlad to stop being a fucking faggot. So I absolutely think like removing Tchaikovsky, I don't know exactly how to pronounce the name, or not, again, dead musicians, living musicians, anybody, banning art and music is always a net negative for everybody. So I think that's absolutely fucking stupid. The NCAA March Madness in my bracket game. NCAA March Madness is raging on. Again, I make it a point of pride to fill out my bracket as fast as possible. Again, I know literally nothing about NCAA basketball. I do not follow basketball at all. But right now, I'm in my 4-person league with my family. We got Mike Boas, Michelle Boas, and we got Brad Big Meat and Brian Boas. So, you know, how to keep it 100 with the family. Mike Boas, Michelle Boas, Brian Boas, Brad Big Meat. You know, like Big Wiener. So, just gotta keep my family on their toes. But I'm in 3rd place. I got Baylor winning, and I know nothing about any of this stuff. Pick most of the 1s and 2s. Higher rank you are, probably throwing some upsets every now and again. Done in 30 seconds. Let's go, baby. March Madness. Let's go. I already talked to you about my new camera and my office setup. And then, now let's get into the dark horse number 119. So 10 minutes on my Panasonic 4K HCV X981 is going pretty well. So just hopefully it doesn't cut off or do anything janky. We'll find out if it does. But I watched the dark horse number 119, might still be going. I watched most of it, at least an hour and 10 minutes. Again, just trying to generate some content, keep talking about something. But they start off. First question I got from them, and again, I was watching a Rick Beato video the other day. Again, just about musicians having good fills, right? You're listening to a song when they're retaping a song, and you hear like annotations in the background, like a rap song. Someone will say a line, and there'll be like something right after that is clearly recorded, right after that. First of all, it's generated from rhythm. Rhythm generates canon, and so when I'm responding to these podcasts, I'm logically filling in arguments, literally. Right? In the same way I sing songs, and once you know how to sing, you know how to like jump in, like you know how to dive into the beat. I mean, you might come in early or something, but you know how to sing in key and do stuff like that. And so what I'm doing here is literally logically filling people's arguments. Because again, these people they get their career and then they literally stop learning and they don't see that as a problem and then they want to have opinions. The point where it becomes a problem is when they want to have opinions and then they're just flatly incorrect about stuff. And so the first thing they talk about, first question I got out of their brains was, is a meritocracy possible? Basically meaning meritocracy is a society based on merit possible? And again, whatever the common sense correct answer is, Brett Weinstein and Heather Hang are going to mentally masturbate with some words and then pick the wrong answer. So I think they said no, but yes, anything's possible. Nothing's impossible. It's only impossible until it gets done. But just in general, again, if you have fairness and transparency, meritocracy will emerge. It's the only thing that can emerge. But again, we're at this weird intersection of the end of the industrial age, kind of the beginning of complete integration of everybody, and we're all just like, yeah, no, we're all going to lie about Brad's research and then debate again. That's when our debate starts, is when you put out the best, when you scapegoat the best, then we start talking about fairness and corruption and all of these big travesties in the world. But yes, meritocracy is completely possible with transparency and fairness. How prevalent is corruption today? How does corruption begin? Again, corruption, because of technology for like the 50 millionth time, is extremely limited. How does it begin? Again, it's just oh well, I'll do a little, maybe I shouldn't jaywalk. Then I'm gonna jaywalk. I didn't get in trouble with that, so maybe I'm gonna push the boundary a little more. Oh, now there's something that's self-serving, and I've done something that's pushing the boundary a little bit, not overtly bad, but it's not great. Well, I'm gonna do that. And that goes on for 5 to 10 years, and then they start piling up, and then some real nasty shit happens, and then they're so far into the game that it's just like, investment bias, that they're already priced into the hand. And so corruption is more, to me, again, barring one or two people in history, and again, talking in the modern age with transparency and technology, it's really just pushing the limits, not having any sort of consequences for your actions, and then really, truly being so insecure you don't feel responsibility for it. You're so selfish, they'll be a little corrupt. You'll violate somebody else's rights. You'll step on somebody else's toes just enough to, as long as I don't feel responsibility for it, I love the carnage. It's really that mindset for real. Brett talks about Ivermectin in censoring COVID origins and lab leak. Again, where did COVID come from? Lab leak or natural? Again, LSD is not a natural substance. It's less toxic than the vast majority of all substances. Talked extensively about how what natural doesn't even really mean shit to me at all. Right? You have mRNA, you have fat, sugar, protein. You have mRNA, you have amino acids building your genomic structure. And so that's the conversation that makes sense. What's natural? Again, I don't know. It's organic, marketing terms. But yeah, Brett, there was. But my first point is I don't care. Like it makes no difference in sort of practicality. What do you do? Lab leak or natural origins coming from a wet market in Wuhan? Again, if there's intention, someone intentionally leaked a virus, which no one's even talking about, slaughter everybody. If it's a lab leak, again, gain of function research to me is pretty in terms of like biological progress, pretty, I think, a stupid motivation. I don't think you're going to do, like, try to get this disease as progress as possible, see what it does or see what you learn. I don't think there's going to be much. Again, my underlying thesis of all biology is, again, everything gets processed. I'm sorry, I'm looking up a study right now. The Ivermectin, no indication. The largest study of ivermectin was just released in the past day or two. And here is the results. Because remember, in this episode, Brett and Heather are very, very poignant about, early treatment options. A large new trial has reportedly found no indication ivermectin is useful in treating COVID-19 patients. The trial of almost 1,400 COVID-19 patients at risk of severe disease found the drug failed to reduce hospital admissions. And I don't want to read I already read the whole thing, but it was hospital admissions, symptom length, severity of symptoms, overall improvement, basically anything to say, does this substance make you feel better versus a placebo? And there was no indication of useful clinical results, none. So again, we have Brett and Heather, again, absolute clueless bimbo idiots, complete fucking retards. Brett was offended, someone called him a villain. Brett, you're a fucking worthless fucking kike. You are the dumbest piece of shit that I have ever had the displeasure of being stolen from. You're stealing from me, bro. And so, fuck you, fuck your life. If I ever get human rights, you are going to motherfucking prison. Our lawyers versus your lawyers, yep. I'll try to do some science. I mean, while you're still got your freedom, while you can. Get some reps in on the actual science, you stupid fuck. Again, most worthless people that have ever lived. But, again, lab leak versus where did the shit come from doesn't matter. Absolute vaccines work, mask works. Clearly, ivermectin doesn't work. Again, I would not censor, I would not say don't take ivermectin. I don't care if you drink 2 glasses of water today or 5 glasses of water. Drinking no glasses of water for 3 months is probably going to kill you, or 1 month will kill you. But again, it's just like, I don't care. I wouldn't ban ivermectin. You can talk about Joe Blow Tits, Joe Rogan, Joe Blow Tits, switching it up. But then Brett cites the world's leading scientist. And again, he butchers a Nobel Prize winning, the dude who discovered HIV, Luc Montagnier. Montagnier. And Heather says, and Brett got a little closer, but clearly their French is obviously worse than their Spanish. But Heather says, if you win the Nobel Prize, you are out of kook territory. Heather, when are you going to go get your frontal lobotomy? That won a Nobel Prize. You literally just cut people's brains apart. That literally won a Nobel Prize. So yep, super out of kook territory. And again, I don't know exactly how old Montagnier was, but they said he died, I'm assuming pretty old. So again, the frontal lobotomy was like the 50s. So it's probably right around the same time this guy was up and coming. So yep, once you win the Nobel Prize, you can never fuck up again. Never. Again, this episode, Heather was struggling not to cuss at, she doesn't even know what. And this whole time now they're really, again, I don't know what they think they're accomplishing by pushing lab leak versus like the COVID origins. Again, besides stating a literal just fact, which it's a fact, it's a statement of truth, but it doesn't affect the practicality of treating the thing. And then again, saying that vaccines aren't effective, shit like that is, again, lawsuits in real time as it happens if I'm ever allowed to go access fucking court. Again, shout out to Elaine Bryant for continuing not to do her job. Worthless fucking bitch. Again, it's not your guys' life. I'm gonna be tortured until I'm dead and no one gives a fuck at all. But Brett citing the world's leading scientists. Like, you guys aren't all stealing from me, lying about it, and then starting your conversations. That's when the conversation starts. It's after, how the fuck can this world collectively suppress scientific information? Ukrainian universities are doing so. Russian universities are doing so. Chinese universities are doing so. American universities are doing so. Everyone in Europe is doing so. Everyone in Africa, Asia, everyone is doing so. And the reality is people will not do anything will not stop for anything they don't feel responsibility for. Never. Never. Body after body after body after body, no one cares. What am I responsible for? If I don't feel like it's that, then I don't give a shit at all. And again, this world, it's going to be amazing if I'm alive to see this world actually fucking change. Lawsuits with the motherfucking quickness. They talk about again, another great celebrity, Robert Malone's fame and his stance on COVID vaccines. His words, not mine. His big opposition. Again, he's this great scientist, and again, the reality, here's the narrative. You know, there's a bunch of, from Brett and Heather, there's a bunch of corruption. They're going to stick it to him and say the lab leak, and now everyone's scrambling for the middle ground. And again, you're going for the low-hanging fruit that makes matters nothing. Lab leak versus natural origins doesn't fucking matter. Without intention, doesn't fucking matter. And they make the point something like, you know, a way worse pandemic could emerge from gain-of-function research. And I think gain-of-function research is ill-motivated. I don't think there's a real point to it because of biology. But it's like this is their big thing. And again, they're actively spreading false information about how to practically deal with the situation. But Robert Malone's exact stance on vaccine is they're premature. Again, they're premature. In a world where people can't legalize cannabis for being 100% effective, 100% efficacious, directly for 70 fucking years. We're not sure. Again, go look at all of these other fucking, I think, another quote off the top of my head, but I've in the past cited 250,000 FDA drugs or approvals from the FDA were done on one study alone. And so when we start talking about the rigor, forget COVID, the rigor of the academic community, again, from butter, nutritional guidelines, alcohol guidelines, exercise guidelines, genuine personal development. Again, don't trust a fat chef. Don't trust whatever the fucking sayings are. But especially because again, this is me logically filling in your arguments. You push me out of the group, and again, if you put me in a group of people, this is not possible. This is how I got here, and if you put me into a group of people, this is not possible. You say dumb shit to this other dumb fuck, and I'm just sitting there you will literally pick up on my body language, just not registering your arguments. But as long as we push Brad out, then we can keep killing people. And so, don't feel responsibility for it, that's what we're going to do. But Robert Malone is just, again, pushing because he got famous, because he's insecure, he's the beta male, he's got to lead the group. And he's just going to say insecurity and say, I'm scared of something. Who agrees with me? And that is, again, 100% the root problem of every problem in this species. 100%. Not 99, 100. And so what would be the smoking gun for determining lab leak versus natural origins? I don't know if you found a bunch of local animals infected with the disease, if you had someone admit something from a lab that they fucked up. But again, I would just think that the strain of mRNA, the DNA, infections in animals, or at least presence, testing positive in animals. But again, just from a practical standpoint, it really doesn't matter. And it's strange to see scientists. This episode didn't really get me that fired up. But it's just weird seeing scientists again focusing on this the most irrelevant point ever, and then acting like they're doing something good. We didn't get any relief band plugs this week, so that was pretty disappointing. That was really the last talking point. Oh, one other one: trans athletes and Leah Thomas, and the swimmer, male to female swimmer. I don't even know if she's gotten surgery or not. She's got a big dong in the pool. So I'm a chick swimming around. What would I do? Yeah, absolutely not. No. Fairness, sport, equality, fairness. Again, my particularly for sports, and if you go through puberty as a male, you're going to have bigger bone structure, and it's really subtle when you go look at Leah Thomas. It's real subtle. You can't notice anything. But now for sports, I would absolutely fuck no. Because again, fuck you, Leah Thomas. If you're so deprived of human dignity and human rights, you would not care about sports at all. How would I know? Because I'm actually deprived of human dignity and rights, and I don't give a fuck about sports. Ask anybody who's ever met me, do I like sports? Fuck no. Why? Because I have no rights, and I don't get to live my life at all. So if you're so oppressed and so dysphoric from your gender, well then maybe you should grow up and not care about sports that much. So no, I would not allow her to compete. One quick story. Let me see if I should be still rolling. Can get used to my new setup. I can record for more than 12 minutes. This is new. It's a while. Just out here talking to myself on my camera. Awesome. But I did want to give you one more story. about two-part story about it, again, because we have so many rights and there's so many laws that are enforced here in the United States. I had somebody, I wasn't like friends with her, but she was certainly friends with people in my grade school and high school. She wasn't like super involved in like my social circles, probably like even in like middle high school to late high school. But back in grade school, and I told you about the stories about walking to the Westville Rec Center. And both of these are kind of vicarious stories, but not kind of. But so one day a bunch of people are going to the Westville Rec Center, and this is before we can drive. So you have to get whose parents picking you up, who's dropping off, stuff like that. And so I don't know if I think that they were going to the rec center. It was either the rec center or the pool. But I was gonna go one day, and I forget why I couldn't go. But they're going to the pool or the rec center, and we'll just call her Susan, the mom, not the daughter. The mom, Susan, is driving. Again, my old friend Matt, Tim, Jack, maybe Garrett, but they're either going to the pool or the rec center. Again, this is the same time with SCX. We're 14 years old, taking pictures of 69 everywhere, and because I wasn't in the car, I forget how it started. But they started talking about like masturbation. Not like talking about it. The mom, Susan, calls them out and goes, she starts like calling out 7th grade boys for jerking off. Like actually. And at the time it was a funny story. As a grown ass man, it is fucking weird. But she goes, starts like grilling 7th grade boys about masturbation. And then goes to my buddy Matt. Matt, I heard you do it the most. And it was, again, funny story at the time, looking back on it, a grown-ass woman giving a fuck about 7th grade boys jerking off, and then like making it a point to comment on it. It's just like weird. Aggressively weird. Part one of the story. Now fast forward to, I don't know, probably high school, mid-high school. Again, I had a really good friend. We'll call her Susan too, just not to use too many names. But Susan's friends with the other. My friend Susan was friends with the daughter, who I said I wasn't super good friends with, but was certainly in her social circles or around. And she's going over to hang out with her friend, and the mom, the one who called out Matt for being the most jerking off the most as a 7th grader. The husband's a cop, and so my friend Susan goes over to the girl's house, and the dad gets a phone call in, and he's got to go do something. I think it's for work. Might not have been for work or something, but he goes to my friend. And he's like, come ride along with us. And so my friend Susan, the daughter, the husband and father, that's a cop, they get into the car. And what time is it? It's time for a roadie, right? Sergeant Edwin Powell? It's time for a roadie, man. You should go explain to your commanding officer what a roadie is. For all you uninitiated, it's when you take an open beer can and drive around drinking it. So remember, drinking and driving is bad, unless it's Edwin Powell for a roadie. Time to drink and drive as a cop, baby. O-H-I-O! But remember, to the Columbus Police Department, can you guys please send me, I'm a pretty good criminal, please send me a list of the laws you guys don't actually enforce so I can get back in the game. Because I don't do roadies. But now the second part of the story. Cops drinking and driving while their wives harass 7th grade boys for jerking off. Yet another wonderful experience in my lovely community. That is the cancer of the families that are the Central Ohio fucking Stallions, St. Paul crew. O-H-I-O, baby. So thank you for watching Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 106, Casual Conversations 39. Hopefully I'm still rolling.